Hello and welcome. We will be playing Twilight Struggle. I am Remark, and let's see if we can't have a remarkable time today. Alright, this is based on a board game. We will play offline because we just want to get into it. Create a game. We're going to start off balanced, but we're going to start off as the good old USA. Bum, bum, bum. So this is very much card game-esque. We have the opening moves here, where essentially we have the US on one side, USSR on the other. We're essentially going to be playing through the ages from 1946 onward. So the game takes place in 3 broad phases. Each phase involves a number of cards that reflect events during that age. Some cards with a red underline, you play them once, or the event fires, and then they're out of the game forever. Other events, such as European scoring, and the Indo-Pakistani War, will just keep on happening unless we send that card into space, game mechanically wise. So right now we have an option to play 7 influence anywhere in Europe, because that's all that matters, right? Right? Alright, let's throw down 4 in West Germany. So, yeah, as you can see, the UK and West Germany have a solid number. We threw in 4 influence in Germany, and there's a 4 in this corner. That means that we have essentially de facto control over that country. So, in terms of ideological alignment, West Germany is fully in our camp. There are a few ways of reducing it, flipping some of that influence, but ultimately, for right now, and especially for scoring purposes, that counts for us. For scoring purposes, we count Canada as part of Europe, and so essentially, everything in blue is part of Europe. The first thing to do is to note that presence. Do we have a presence in Europe? We have one place that's confirmed ours. Let's just say the UK for now. That means that if Europe gets scored, we will get 3 points. Domination. Domination is determined by who controls the most red battleground or most important states in that center. So right now in Europe, Poland.
Of the 20th century.
Ooh.
Is the challenge of human relations and not of impersonal natural forces.
Oh, that was good old Harry Truman showing off here. But essentially for domination, you need to control the majority of those countries who are listed with a red background in their name. So for Europe, that's Italy, France, West Germany, East Germany, and Poland. And then finally, stop that, go away. And then finally, if we can have both domination, presence, that's great. However, for Europe itself, if we control all those red influential states, we just automatically win. Now, for any other state, like the Middle East, East Asia, well, you get more points, but you don't win the game just because of it. Alright, so let's see here. We have 3 more influence. You know what? Italy seems pretty damn important. We're going to commit and actually get going. Headline phase. So as you can see below, we have a slew of cards. Essentially what this means is that we're going to have to play these cards for the event, is the headline phase. The event alone. So if we play the 5-year plan, the USSR discards 1 card randomly, and if it is a US event, then it gets played almost immediately. I mean, this is 3 influence, so I mean, this isn't necessarily something to kind of throw away. However, as you can see by the little US blue star, it is an event aimed to favor our side.
Let's see here. We have the Warsaw fact.
Oh, ooh. USS Warsaw Pact just seems terrifying. Fidel Castro, who can go die in a hole, and then we have other events. Wow. So as you can see here, this is a Russian-favored event. This is a neutral-ish event, but because there is no influence down in Pakistan, that doesn't really help us. Fidel Castro, guess what? USSR favorite event. European scoring. We don't want to do that. If we can get France, we'll actually win out in terms of who gets the more points from that event. Simply put, the score is like a tug of war. The score can swing 20 in favor of me or 20 in favor of my opponent. However, the more points that he scores, the overall VP counter swings towards him. It's not that I can just bank points. It's simply a tug of war. For every point I earn, my opponent loses one, and the score swings my way. The game ends if one person manages to swing the total victory point counter 20 in their favor. So we are going to play this one because, quite simply, it's the only U.S. favorable event that I got. So he is headlining Nasser. So I know that the USSR player is down a card, but he's down a Middle East scoring card. So the Middle East is not going to get scored. So guess what? I don't care about that, which is good, because the only damn thing I care about is Europe at this time. No, that's not ominous. Our opponent is playing the Chinese card. And he just... fuck. So he cooed Italy. Essentially that means you take a card, you play it, you roll a dice, and essentially, based on the difficulty of the state, Italy being 2, and the amount of influence I have there, for every roll that you roll above 2, you reduce an influence that I have in Italy. He rolled 6, I had 4 there, 6 minus 2 is 4, and then that just wipes out all my influence. That sucks. That sucks a lot. We're just gonna play this for the good old influence. Because that's a good event for him, he's going to get a bunch of stuff. Now, the other thing is that because the USSR player played the China card, he used it to coup Italy. That puts that card face down in front of me, and, damn. Alright, so he's getting to decide again. So a scoring card has to be played before the end of the game. The end of the game occurs when... What is this? Oh, no, not again. And I get... Oh, that's not good. Can I realign Italy? No. Yep. All right. So essentially, I'm going to be throwing all my cards at Italy in a vain attempt to get it when the music stops. This isn't going to go too well. And he's placing that for the influence. Oh, hey. That's an event, which gives us a favorable control of China. And we are getting shafted. Utterly shafted. Place events. This isn't going too well, folks. We got 2 more cards to play, and European scoring has to be one of them. I guess we're gonna go with Romanian abdication. Let's start a coup somewhere.
Our efforts are made in the belief that men and nations can cooperate, and that there are no international
So if we roll a 6, we get something.
Men of goodwill cannot solve or adjust.
Not the greatest. Not the greatest. Not the greatest. That's something. Yeah, let's coup Pakistan. See what happens. We did it! We did it! Hooray! Take that, you commie bastards. And we're gonna get shafted. He's... Alright, so we have to play this, otherwise we lose the game. And we're down 7 points.
The seeds of totalitarian regimes are nurtured by misery and war.
This is proving to be an unremarkable game so far.
Of poverty and strife. They reach their full growth when the hope of a people for a better life has died.
It would look like it would seem that we all further operation cards increase their value. So this is beautiful. So this event could be perfect to just eradicate those freaking commies from Italy. But we need an event first. I think the CIA created might be the best one that we got.
Acerca de si la lucha armada es el único camino para la liberación. Lo que puedo responder.
Let's go headline that one.
Por lo menos en las condiciones de nuestro país no había otro camino.
So right now we have a few events specifically aimed at Europe. So I think we're going to play those events because at the very least we do need to get freaking Italy back. So Asia's scoring. Oh, great. Asia's gonna score. Lovely. We do have Pakistan though. So we could place influence, try coup. No, we don't want to do that. We want to... No. What about this? No. Oh, wait a minute. So if we eradicate his influence in Vietnam, he's essentially done. The CIA is going to be created, and their first goal is to eradicate Soviet influence in Vietnam. I'm sure this is going to go well. Oh, goodness. I mean, we get India and Pakistan. That'll just Red Scare. Oh, lovely. Let's try this. Huzzah! Oh. Oh, by the way, the more coups that we do, the closer the world gets to thermonuclear war. So, oh, right. So the China card, let's actually read what this thing does. It starts in the USSR player's hand, which he used to take Italy and run up the scoreboard with. But essentially, this card gives you an additional bonus. It counts as basically a 5 influence card if used in Asia, or a 4 used outside. This thing is extremely effective at cooing countries in Asia. However, we know that my opponent is going to score Asia at some point during this round. Alright, we can't actually coup anymore because the world is on the brink of thermonuclear war. Can we realign anything? No. Can we place the influence? So when Asia gets scored, and because the CIA tells us that it will be scored, we're going to be getting a few good points here. We're going to get 7 from controlling the most of the red, plus 1 Australia. Some non-battleground ones. I actually don't want to do that. Place influence 1, 2. I have no reach over here. I do want to use the Truman Doctrine to eradicate this area. Shouldn't avoid our own backyard. Just waiting with anticipation. He is dug in like hell in Europe, though. Let us remove. Oh, so that was a favorable event for us. That's what I thought. So if we play this for, so if we play for the event, this would give us victory points to the current DEFCON level -2. So because the current DEFCON level is basically at 2, it wouldn't do that much. We're going to play this for influence. Go 1 there. Go 1 over there. Yes. So essentially our plan is to play the Truman Doctrine followed by containment, and that will consolidate Western Europe. He will no longer be able to realign or coup countries in Western Europe. Unless he does that. There we go. Plays Asia scoring. So the current score is at 9. The USSR player is up 9. After this, down to 3. Oh, that's not what I thought at all. That's significant to equal. Do I care about? I kind of care about Korea. How many cards am I playing? This is the last card. So the thing is that the victory cards could be reshuffled into the deck, or they couldn't be. We can't do coups anymore. So we are going to get rid of this thing forever. So let us coup attempt, space range. No. So containment will come back to us. Oh, that's not good odds at all. What about Haiti? Nope. Even worse. Not good. Not good. Alright, resolve event first. Discard containment. Place some influence.
So my country's purpose is to help us move out of the dark chamber of
Huzzah!
horror into the light. To find a way by which the minds of men, the hopes of men, the souls of men everywhere can move forward toward peace and happiness and well-being.
Interesting. I was hoping some of these cards I never see again, but 5-year card. So this would essentially weaken my opponent and is a favorable event, but is also an influence event. This essentially gives me some additional footing in Yugoslavia. This may not be used during the headline phase. Alright, alright. Alright, that's fine. That's fine. We'll go with the good old 5-year plan. Containment. Oh, that's good. That's good. So we had to discard containment, get rid of the blockade, and because we did so, bam. Oh, that's beautiful. He's choosing to relocate some cards. Ah, good old containment. But now what the hell are we going to play for? Looking at Central America, Africa, we are completely vulnerable. South America, we have nowhere to get to. I doubt Asia's back in so quickly, so soon. Do I want a space race? This one? Or this one? So we're gonna do this. Play event. Coup attempt. No. Oh, damn it. Ah, that's fine. We'll get this eventually. What about you? Yay! Cooing Egypt and putting the world on the brink of thermonuclear war. That's a good winning foreign policy for any U.S. president. Oh, crap. What should we do with our NATO card? Oh dear, where's he throwing his points? Oh. Could he be trying to score Europe? Maybe. That'll consolidate it. Gotta get in tight with those Afrikaners down in Africa. It's the only state really that stands any stability down there. Alright. Realignment. Oh. That hurt. That hurt considerably. So the thing is that the USSR player has the advantage because they do go first. They go first. Typically, the US player almost has to respond to the tempo set by the USSR player. Eventually, in the last phase of the game, the USSR just gets a bunch of shitty cards and the USS player can win. The key for a USS player is to contain the USSR player, contain him, try and slow him down, and in some cases, go to space. Shit. So if you successfully space race, you move up on the space race track, and more importantly, you throw a card out of contention. Fortunately, I did not, and now the socialist governments, which will erode my control over Europe, is now back in the deck. Ooh. Remove influence in 3 countries. Don't mind if I do. Don't want that one. Finland? Or Romania? Not sure if it even matters at this point. Let's just do that one. Weird loading bar. Let's try and frig him out. I think we can take almost some attention off of everything else. Have fun with that, commie bastards. Playing for the event. I am starting to be afraid that this area might be starting to get close to getting scored. Alright. Start off pretty iffy. We have... Don't even understand this man anyway. No subtitles. But we have left the beginning phase of the game, have entered the mid-game. The USSR players up by 4 on the victory ladder. But hopefully, we'll get some additional cards. South America, Europe scoring. Okay. Ooh. South America is going to get scored. Do I care about South America? Not particularly. If the U.S. has the China card, gain 2 victory points. Alright. Nuclear submarines. U.S. coup attempts in battleground countries do not affect the DEF contract. Ah, lovely. Marshall Plan. Not sure if I feel comfortable with doing the summit. So the thing here is that I have the Europe card. Europe will be scored this game unless I have to discard. John Paul II has been elected. Remove 2 influence from Poland and then add 1 influence. You know what? Sometimes God tells you to go for the win. We're gonna... John Paul II has been elected. So the thing is that all the other scoring cards, they'll give you points for the more influence you control in that area. The thing about the Europe card is that if you control East and Poland in this situation, if we can control these two, we win immediately. And I think that's what we're going to go for. We are going to throw every card we have at Europe. We're going to throw the China card, Marshall Plan, SALT negotiations. We're throwing everything at it, and we don't care about anything else at this point. Play some influence. Actually, no. We want to do that, but we want to do it in a way that maintains contention in both East Germany and Poland. By doing that, we set ourselves up to being able to use the Marshall Plan and then later on the SALT negotiations to consolidate control. See, right now, I don't even care. Now, this is an all-or-nothing strategy because almost certainly my opponent is going to be able to just run up the scoreboard in Africa, in South America, and it is not going to look good. Because right now, South America is going to get scored, and that's 6 points. If it gets scored. This is 7 points. Could be bad. Add 1 influence to each of 7 non... We're just going to play this for the event. Let's see here. Win. That's how many points I get. I get a win point. I win the game. Huzzah! Alright. Now, usually if you're playing against another player at this point, the other player is going to start to freak the fuck out. Because while the USSR player will usually not have control of Europe, just having Europe, even if you don't actually control it, just having Europe sit in that position where it's just, oh, by the way, if the Europe card comes up in anyone's hand, it's a game over card. Play my action this turn. I control Europe. I have this card. We do it, and we win. Huzzah! Well, thank you, one and all. That was a little surprising. We got off to a terrible start, had a few terrible starting hands, but we came out on top. Thank you all, and I'm glad that we all got to enjoy a remarkable game of Twilight Struggle. See you around.